And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nashon Owano. Time for us to switch gears into the Money Ref segment of the show. We are going to be talking about the amount of money that is made in the World Rally Championship. Now, the following is the prize money that drivers in the competitions get. That is the Subaru Challenge Award. The winner takes home 5,000 euros. The stage winning bonus takes home, the winner of the stage winning bonus takes home a total of 10,000 euros, and the sponsorship bonus of 250,000 euros. In the junior rookie drivers bonus takes home 15,000 euros. That's just the amount of money that people take in the World Championship, World Rally Championships. A lot of money to talk about, and being the basis that this week we're talking about the Safari Rally in the country after 19 years, it will be interesting to see how much or who is going to be the winner of this year's edition of the competition. Now, switching away from matters Safari Rally, we are going to be talking about matters Euros that are currently ongoing, and the round of 16 fixtures have been officially released, and the following is how the teams have been pitted against each other. Now, Wales is set to square it out with Denmark, Italy versus Austria, Netherlands versus Czech Republic, Belgium versus Portugal, Croatia versus Spain. That is going to be a very interesting match to watch out for, considering the fact that Croatia is usually looked at as an underdog in any competition. France versus Switzerland, England versus Germany, and Sweden versus Ukraine. Just before we start talking about the round of 16 fixtures and what exactly happened, we just wanted to take you through some of the analysis on some of the games that were played. And the first game that was played this past week was Portugal versus France, Germany versus Hungary, Slovakia versus Spain, and Sweden versus Poland. I'm joined once again by my guest in studio today, that is Salim Waziri. Salim, the game Portugal versus France, not quite a result that many people expected. As a fan of football, what were your probable scorelines from that particular game?
I thought France will win, but then again, as one great man, Peter Jury, said, never write the football script before it's written for you. But then again, the game just lived to its expectations, because both teams were quick off the blocks, and with all the quality and the talent on show that night, it was bound to happen the way it happened. But then again, the two penalties for me, the first two penalties, I think they were very, very dubious. So, but then again, that's just football for you.
Okay. Cristiano Ronaldo can't seem to really stop scoring in this tournament. He's already broken a couple of records, and he's not showing any signs of stopping anytime soon. Looking at the game that they are going to be playing, that is Belgium versus Portugal. I just wanted to get your take on what you think of that particular game. Who are the favorites for you, Belgium versus Portugal? Because Belgium is an equally strong team in this competition.
I think when you look at Belgium's front six, you can say it can cause a lot of trouble to Portugal. But then again, when you look at Portugal's front line, you can say it can cause a lot of trouble to the aging back line of let's say the likes of Pepe the likes of Vertonghen and Alderweireld. So I think for me it's a match that can go both ways depending on which side, because in football it depends which team will turn up and come to the party on the night. But that is for a neutral, that is going to be a cracker.
Okay. Speaking of a team that has given people an equal measure of expectation is Germany. There are people who are concerned or are not impressed by the way Germany has performed. Let us talk about the game that is Germany versus Hungary. What did you make of that particular game?
Hungary, on that very day, they knew they had nothing to lose. They just came out there and played their football. And I think Germany were 15 minutes away from elimination, lest we all forget. 15 minutes away. But then again, Goretzka had other plans. But then again, we are talking about a German team that I think for me the transition has been smooth. Once the Hamels of this world moved on, it looks like now there's a better balance to that team. And no, not Hamels, Jerome Boateng. So the kind of transition has been smooth and seamless. So I think now it's time, because they have got to stand up to be counted, because as they say, football was made in Germany, as most people say. So now is the time for them to maybe find a way to take the trophy home, because it will also be a good way of telling Joachim Löw goodbye.
Yeah. The interesting last-minute change-up was the exclusion of Thomas Muller from that particular game, and Leroy Sané stepped in to play. Do you think Muller would have made the all-much deserved difference in that game?
Absolutely, because I think the lad is just edgeless, and we have seen in the Bundesliga what he managed to do. I think he was on top of that list with the number of assists, and chipped in with a couple of goals to help Bayern Munich win the title. So I think for me, when he is in the game, is someone you don't see so many times. But when the stats come out at the end of the game, is when you tell yourself, this guy has dug in deep and has put in a proper shift. So I think for me, Thomas Muller, it gets, they say, just like wine, is getting better with age.
They have been drawn against England. Do you think the trophy is coming home for real this time?
For England, one friend of mine always says they should drop the 3 lions of England. They are playing like 3 little puppies at the moment. They just don't look like the 3 lions. So, but I think for me, I think England are going to be tested to the limit, because time and time again we say England have some of the best talents in world football, but then again the balance is just not right. The balance, Gareth Southgate doesn't just put the right lineup out there. But then again, if the last match is anything to go by, that partnership of Grealish and Bukayo Saka, they have got to start. They have got to start for them to stand a chance against Germany.
Okay. I know sometimes when people are talking about teammates or opponents, say for example, players from Manchester City and Manchester United have been put together in the same national squad. The conversation is usually they are going to work together for the common interest. Do you think there have been lines that people have probably been missing, considering that they have been competitors in the domestic league this past season?
Yeah, but I think for the very reason that as a national team coach, he has got to be up there with the very best, because these players come from different teams that have different football philosophies. So I think it's up to the coach to find a way to make them gel together, because if you don't, even if you have 10 Ronaldos and 10 Messis in the same team, if you don't find a way to make them play football together let's say in a proper manner, you will never get the results. And I think at the moment, you look at England, for example, it is what is happening to them. Different football philosophy in their local, in the particular clubs, and it's just not happening in the national team.
Okay. The other game was Slovakia versus Spain. As the competitions were starting, was the exclusion of Sergio Ramos from that particular squad. And that was an impeccable performance from the team. Maybe just as a football fan, I wanted to get your take on what you think the manager is trying to achieve. Because look at a situation where more experienced and decorated players have been excluded from the team, opting for more younger players who are new to the competition. Maybe you could give us an insight on what you think is the philosophy behind that school of thinking.
And for the records, for the fans watching back at home, I'm a Spain fan, by the way. But as you've said rightfully, Nation, what is ailing Spain at the moment is just, I think the new kids on the block, they are not as good as the seasoned veterans that were there. But then again, we are talking about Luis Enrique. At such a stage, we have seen Pepe at Portugal. I think he's 39, 38, but he's leading from the front. At such a stage, you need that one general in there. And I think for me, the exclusion of Ramos and Carvajal was untimely, because I think for me, you look at that Spain team. I don't think there's a leader in there. Sergio Busquets, as good as he is, and he's also getting to the sunset end of his career, I don't think he's that one person you can depend on in rallying the team. So I think for me, Luis Enrique, as much as they have qualified to the knockout phase, leaving Ramos out was a huge, huge mistake.
Okay. An interesting game, that is Spain has been drawn against Croatia. Your 2 cents on what you think about that particular fixture. Who do you think is going to come on top in that particular game?
With the talent in the Croatian side, I think they are going to give us a run for our money. But eventually, as they say, the La Furia Roja will come on tops, because I think Spain, to some level, they'll just at the end of the night, they would have been too good for Croatia. But take nothing away from Croatia. They're a quality side.
Okay. Finally, as we wrap up, Sweden versus Poland. Sweden managed to proceed to the last of 16. What did your 2 cents on what you thought about that particular game?
Yeah, Sweden, just like Denmark, they have shown the world football is a team sport. You don't have to over-rely on particular players, because I think the most known players in that team are Emil Forsberg of Leipzig and the one Lindelof. Those are the most known players in that team, and Kulusevski of Juventus. But then again, you look at them, they are very, very, very compact. And I think sometimes you don't need the big games. You are the big names in your team. You just need all these 11 players. They commit to the cause and they go out there and they fight for the badge. But then again, that's just I think that's just Denmark and Sweden for you. But before I go, I'll just love to say this, Nation. I've seen the Safari Rally, the kind of packages and the winning bonuses people are taking home, and they have reminded me of my late father's word. And Ali Waziri Abubakar used to say, "Stay patient, stay focused, stay hardworking. All the hard work will pay off someday."
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Salim, for finding time. You're saying you're going to join the You Guy, My Guy gang today in Naivasha. You're going to come and give us the highlights the next time you come on the show. Now, time for us to switch into the Events Watch segment of the show. Now, the following are some of the activities that will be taking place this weekend in Kenya and all over the world. Now, the world's focus is shifted to Kenya for the WRC 2021, I beg your pardon, Safari Rally competition. Now, the Safari Rally Kenya is taking place between 24th to the 27th of June. That is today, all up to the weekend. I think people are going to be struggling to find their impetus and direction on Monday. So just wherever you are, just make sure that by Monday you are in Nairobi to resume work. And away from that, the Euro 2020 competition, the following games are going to be played in the course of the week. That is Wales versus Denmark, Italy versus Australia, Netherlands versus Czech Republic, and Belgium versus Portugal. Those are high-flying matches that you're going to be following up on in the course of the week. Well, that's all the time that we had on Metropole Sports Center. Do wish you a fantastic weekend. See you next week, same place, same time.